Dear Scare Mail, in February of 1948, somewhere off the coast of Indonesia, an American vessel named the Silver Star received an SOS message from a distressed ship. The message they received went down as one of the most haunting and infamous SOS messages ever received due to its truly disturbing nature. It read as follows: SOS. SOS from Ourang, Medan. We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chart room and on the bridge. Whole of crew are dead. The operator signed off with two chilling words that would end up putting the entire seafaring world on notice. I die. The Silver Star wasted no time sailing to the coordinates given. Upon arrival, the Ourang Medan was found floating aimlessly in the ocean, cloaked by a mysterious and haunting haze. Despite having no visible damage, the vessel appeared to have no propulsion, so the captain ordered that the ship be towed to port. But first, a boarding party was assembled to conduct a search and rescue for any possible survivors on board. What you are about to read is a dramatic retelling of the captain and his team's findings, discovered in his journal nearly 50 years later. The air hung heavy, a thick fog of despair that clung to my skin as I stepped onto the deck of the Ourang Medan. The world was silent save for the creaking of the ship, a mournful dirge that seemed to whisper secrets I wasn't sure I wanted to hear. My crew, a band of hardy souls, each with a heart steeled against the horrors of the sea, followed close behind. We were seamen, seekers of truth in a world that often preferred shadows to light. And here, on this supposed ghost ship, the shadows loomed large. The first body lay at the helm, its hand still clutching the wheel, as if in a final, desperate attempt to steer away from doom. The face, oh God, the face, was twisted in a rictus of terror, eyes wide and staring into a void we could only guess at. No marks, no blood. It was as if the very essence of fear had stopped his heart. Next to him lay a canine, sharing the same evocative expression as his former master. I made a note in my journal, the pen heavy in my hand. Captain, cause of death, unknown. No visible injuries. We moved as one, a grim parade winding through the corridors, each turn revealing new horrors. The crew members were scattered like discarded dolls, each one frozen in a tableau of dread. One man lay by the radio, his fingers still on the dials, a silent scream etched upon his lips. Radio operator, cause of death, undetermined. Expression suggests extreme terror at the time of death. In the mess hall, a group was huddled together, their bodies intertwined in a macabre embrace. They seemed to be looking at something that had filled them with such fear that they had sought comfort in each other's arms as death took them. Crew in mess hall. Cause of death remains a mystery. No signs of struggle or physical altercation. The cargo hold beckoned, a gaping maw that promised answers yet filled me with a dread I could not name. As we descended, the air grew thick, almost tangible, like wading through a pool of molasses. There, amidst crates and containers, lay more bodies, each one a sentinel standing guard over secrets untold. Cargo hold crew. Cause of death inconclusive. Possible asphyxiation or exposure to unknown substances. And then, without warning, the ship itself seemed to come alive. A rumble started deep within its bowels, growing in intensity until the very air vibrated with force of it. Smoke began to seep through the floorboards, curling around our feet like a living thing. The fire had found us, or perhaps we had found it. We retreated, the ship groaning in protest around us as if angry at our intrusion. The flames pursued us, a hungry beast unleashed. We barely made it off the Ourang Medan, the heat of the fire a fierce presence at our backs. As we watched from the safety of our vessel, the Ourang Medan was consumed by the inferno, a funeral pyre that left more questions than answers. The smoke rose high into the sky, a dark column that seemed to pierce the heavens themselves. My findings, scribbled in a journal now smudged with soot and sweat, were all that remained of the crew of the Ourang Medan. Their deaths were a mystery wrapped in enigma, a story of terror on the high seas that would haunt me for the rest of my days. And as the ship sank beneath the waves, I couldn't shake the feeling that some mysteries are best left unsolved. For in the search for truth, one might find only madness. Till this very day, the mystery of the Ourang Medan stands as one of the most controversial tall tales of the seafaring world. Researchers believe that the mystery is not as haunting as it appears, stating that the ship may have been smuggling cyanide, nitroglycerin, and other nerve agents at a time of war. If salt water were to come in contact with any of these materials, toxic gases could be formed and could cause asphyxiation and death to those on board. On top of that, the crew could have very well suffered from carbon monoxide poisoning, assuming that the boiler room did malfunction and catch fire, as stated in the account provided to us. Oddly enough, investigators would come to discover that there was no registration for any vessel named the Ourang Medan at the time, casting doubt on the story as a whole. However, if the ship truly was smuggling hazardous materials, then it would only make sense that the vessel would withhold certain information to the registrar, including their real name and the contents of their cargo. Even so, the mystery of the Ourang Medan prevails to this day as one of the most captivating mysteries ever told. Whether you believe the story to be true or not, the truth lies at the bottom of the ocean, along with what's left of the Ourang Medan. Thanks for watching, and good night.